Well, maybe we could perhaps have a conversation about for transformation number 5. Is that anything like Mambo number 5? About feelings or buttons, aka feelings. By the way, the light is really bad in here. The sun's coming in behind me real bright on that window. How to figure out something how to do that. That's kind of good for you guys because you can't see me very well. So if you really care to have a lifetime experience of breaking up with your girlfriend or your boyfriend or having problems with your son or daughter, or want to make sure you go through a couple of 2 or 3, maybe 4, who knows how many, 5 divorces, then feel free to fill yourself with buttons, aka feelings, because those are the things that you use to keep people away from you so that you don't have to encompass them in your life. They are things that people can push. That's what they call button. Push this, push that, push that one. And it causes you to get upset, causes you to become aggravated or want to get even or want to get them back or want to, all of their own buttons. So as I said, the guaranteed way of making sure you have a bunch of girlfriends or a bunch of boyfriends or whatever ones that you care for, whichever side of the spectrum you're on, or on the same side of the spectrum as far as that's concerned, then make sure you fill yourself with self-invented feelings. aka sometimes people, the silly people, call them emotions. They say if you could get rid of it, but those are not emotions. Feelings or buttons are not emotions. Emotions are things that we are born as. They're not removable, and they can't add. You can add on, cannot add to them. Creation, intelligence, truth, care, compassion. Those are emotions. They are our natural way of being, but we cover them up with our self-invented buttons, also known as feelings, as I said. And we use the buttons to make sure that anybody that comes close to us, we can keep them at a certain length, making sure that they don't have the opportunity to hurt us like we got hurt the first time when we created the button, when we created the feelings. So if you truly care to discover what it takes to be with another person, then you need to discover every button that you have. And perhaps the greatest partner you could have in your life is the one that can show you all your buttons. And buttons are easy to recognize within you because they cause an upsettedness. They take you from being calm and cool to screaming and hollering and yelling. And how can you disrespect me? That's one of the dumbest buttons you could ever have. Disrespect somebody. You cannot disrespect a person unless they have such a huge ego that they demand that you be a certain way. And that's their button, disrespect. They think they can be disrespected. You can't disrespect somebody unless they have a false set of assumptions about themselves, that they should be treated in a certain way. Or none of us are, what's that word? None of us are, I lost the word. I can't think of it. So egoless that we don't observe when someone is seeing if they can press our button. And here's my suggestion. If you do discover one of your buttons being pressed, one of your feelings being ignited, then whoever did it is doing you a huge favor. Unless, of course, you get carried away with the button in the feeling. You get angry and you just get madder and madder and madder, or you get jealous and you want to get even, or you want to get revenge, and you keep going until you get revenge. The answer to that, as in all buttons or all feelings, is to catch them when they're born, at the outset, in your now. They were placed there years and years ago, and you can still remove them in your present day, because they manifest themselves in your present day. Those are the things that you need to pay extreme, deep attention to. Those buttons, as I said, they cause disturbance in your day. How dare that person not respect me, or how dare that person not take my feelings into account. The dumbest thing we can do is take the other person's feelings into account, because all we're making them is a bigger baby than they already are. Our whole world is, especially in America, it's turning into the biggest circus of babies we've ever, and we have all kinds of things we can't say, can't do, can't. Some of them, admittedly, are good alterations. Some of them are simply sissies who can't stand to have their buttons pushed. They want to keep adding to the feelings, adding to the manner in which, if you can't consider any other thing about this, any other part about this, you need to take a look at. When you are filled with expectations, when you are filled with buttons, when you're filled with feelings, they are all there to keep people away from you and to keep them under your control. Control probably is the single most obvious, maybe not obvious, but single most discoverable feeling or button that you have. Disrespect me is one of those. To hurt your feelings, to any of the things that you have an instantaneous response to. Even the word respond is a button, because if you respond, if you react, that means you are reacting to something rather than acting from nothing. If a word, a gesture, or something like that can get you going, then you are and have been a trained, conditioned robot. The only people who can be spun into anger and spun into patriotism and spun into, oh, you've got to be religious, and you can't have. The religious people even have a word for not cutting down religion. It's called blasphemy. What a crazy thing! Here we have this ghost, this thing in the sky, and if we say anything bad about it, he, she, it, it's blasphemy. And I guess it's even worse in the Muslim religion. You can take your life lose your life for making fun of. I better not say Muhammad, because that might be making fun of the old boy, and I wouldn't want to do that. They might come after me. But you see how feelings, how buttons control us, and they control our national narrative as well. We have an ex-president who used "Make America Great Again," as if there was some time when America was great. I don't know of any time America was great. There's been always America. We stole this land and killed the red people to get it. We brought black people in here to do all the work for us and raped both the red and the black people, women. So we've never been a time, and I've asked many of them, when was America great? So what period of time are we supposed to go back to? But here's the real deal about that. If we go back in our history, we'll come right back to where we are right now. All we do is delay it. So we need to start where we are right now and move forward. The manner in which we can become new in our forward movement is to remove all of our history, meaning remove our feelings, remove the buttons that keep people under control. We are a control-filled group of people, and we all breathe together to stay in control. There's a word for it. Conspiracy of ineffectiveness. All of us doing as little as we can do, and making sure nobody else does that much more. Some do. Some step outside of that, and they become multimillionaires or even trillionaires. Do we have trillionaires yet? So if at all possible, perhaps you can get your mind to catch when one of your buttons is pushed and simply ask, where is that aggravation coming from? Why am I getting upset? What is causing me to do that? And that will take you back to your childhood, or take it back to when you said, that's enough, I'm not going to have any more of that. And you've been building on that ever since. If you can discover each of your buttons, the discovery itself will clear the button, and then you can be what there's almost none of in the world, a free human being. What I call a self-transformation is the experience of removing your feelings, your buttons, and gives you a blank space from which to start, where there's no buttons, no feelings, nothing, just creation, intelligence, and truth. You can begin to bring forth your life and then life on planet Earth from the space of nothing. The space of nothing contains, if you will, it sounds like an oxymoron, creation, intelligence, and truth, because they all manifest in the now. They're not held from the to the past. They don't bring your future forward from the past. They live in the now, and they bring forth your life from the now. Now, are you ready to remove your buttons? Button, who has the button? You do. If you happen to find somebody who pushes your buttons, ask them to keep pushing them. Ask them to keep angering you, to making you jealous, make you whatever those things are, so that you can clear it from yourself. And a perfect experience of discovering every button that you have. You will then discover why every person that you have broken up with or broke up with you, every divorce you've ever had, is because of you and your dumbass buttons, but I don't want to cuss because it sounds like shit. See ya.